Hey there everyone, welcome back to Utility Sports, and in today's video we're going to be doing something very fun on Madden NFL 22. We do have a rebuild up on the channel as well for the Las Vegas Raiders, so if you haven't checked that out, there'll be a card for that right here. Make sure you go check it out after the video. I'd love for you guys to see that one. And in this one, we're going to be taking a look at quarterback Jordan Love, the former first-round pick from Utah State. He hasn't gotten a chance really yet in the NFL, and we're going to do a somewhat of a career simulation here to see what his career will pan out being, using Madden 22 as our medium to simulate that. I'm very excited. I'm taking over here as the owner of the Green Bay Packers, as you can see. So let's go ahead here, jump into week one. We do have a very interesting dynamic here as well between, of course, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love as well. So there is a little bit to unpack with them. Let's go ahead now here and jump into the manage roster screen so we can kind of get a feel for what is on our roster currently going into the season. Aaron Rodgers here, of course, 96 overall. He is a X factor at this point, gambler. Very good player. Here we have Jordan Love, who is star development good. I was going to make sure that he is. Here's what his ratings look like to start: 81 speed, 86 acceleration, 90 throw power, also 80 deep accuracy. Pretty good accuracies across the board. His awareness is really one of the only things that has to go up. He's a good player starting this franchise out, and I'm really focused on his development. I want him to end up becoming our franchise guy. The rest of the roster here, not very good. We're going to actually go ahead and cut Blake Bortles right now. I don't believe he's actually on their active roster anymore at this point. So then we have Aaron Jones here. A.J. Dillon, Kylan Hill are our top three running backs. Don't have a fullback currently. Wide receiver Devontae Adams, Devin Funchess, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Alan Lazard. It doesn't look like we have Randall Cobb on here, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. He is older. Robert Tonyan, Mercedes Lewis. Okay, so we got our boys out here: David Bakhtiari, Elgton Jenkins, Josh Myers, Lucas Patrick, and Billy Turner. Looks like the starting offensive line. Dean Lowry, Kingsley Keke, Kenny Clark, who's a beast up the middle, 25 years old only. Zadarius Smith, Chris Barnes, and also Devontre Campbell. Preston Smith here. Then we have Jair Alexander, Chandon Sullivan, Kevin King. Josh Jackson actually should not be on our roster. They are supposed to have Yadam, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to end up releasing Josh Jackson here. Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos, Mason Crosby still kicking, and J.K. Scott as the punter. So we have a lot of our draft picks as well. And now at this point, we're going to try and get some simulation in. We're going to go about this with Aaron Rodgers on the roster here, but I actually do want to do one thing real quick. We are going to put him on the trade block because I do want to make sure that we can possibly trade him if there's a good offer for us. We are going to go about it like GM Brian Gutekunst is going about it, where he's listening to offers, doesn't have plans to trade Aaron Rodgers, but you know, if the right package comes along for a guy in his contract here, they're going to make it happen. I'm also going to go in here and adjust the contract because I don't think it's right. Let's go ahead and put this in his 6th year because the contracts just have not been right historically on Madden. So that is correct now with his contract. And let's go ahead here and advance to the regular season, and we'll see exactly how everything shakes up through year one. I'm really excited for it. I want to win Super Bowls with Jordan Love. That is the goal at this point. And we're also going to go about this as if it was a full-on rebuild as well. So we're going to be very aggressive, trying to rebuild this team and really improve around Jordan Love. We're going to do kind of the opposite of what GM Brian Gutekunst has done. Probably go and draft a wide receiver in round one at some point. That would be my goal. Let's go ahead back into the NFL rosters here. Make sure that they didn't do anything crazy with the cuts. Okay, Jordan Love is still here. Good. We are chilling then. So we are pretty solid. They cut down our roster. Jordan Love already went up 1 overall as well, up to a 69. Nice. So very good that Jordan Love is progressing. He's only 22 years old. We have some guys that we can go out and improve upon. I think that this team could be very nice. So let's try and kind of see what we have going on here. I also want to go into manage staff real quickly and also set up our franchise around Matt LaFleur to get some quarterback development, hopefully, if we can. Let's see, this is cornerbacks. Okay, XP gains for QBs. Okay, nice. So they're already working this direction because I do want to increase our QB experience. So we're working there. We are one staff point away from that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to sim to the midpoint season, and we'll see kind of what we've got. Maybe we'll look at some Aaron Rodgers trade offers then. Actually, we do have trade offers right here for Aaron Rodgers. Let's go ahead and look at them. Second round picks. I mean, Washington's interesting because they would probably be close enough to winning a championship in year one if they got him. Otherwise, I don't really love the rest of these. It's funny if we did the Jets thing and kind of emulated Brett Favre's career. I just don't really know if we do have a first rounder from Tampa Bay. That's interesting to me. I'm not going to trade him yet at this point. We're going to get to the midpoint of the season, and then we'll see exactly how our team is doing. So let's go ahead and sim to the midseason here. All right, so at the midpoint here, we are actually 5-2, which is very, very good indeed. Let's go ahead back into the franchise staff here. And then also let's turn on the progression here, the development for quarterbacks, because we want to definitely be increasing our XP gains for our quarterback spot. All right, I just got through the training staff, the coaching staff. We have figured out where we're going to put some of our staff points. So now here I am in the re-sign player screen at the midpoint of the season, talking some contract extensions. Aaron Rodgers wants $40 million over 1 year. We are going to withdraw the offer from him. We are not interested in bringing Aaron Rodgers back. So he is going to be out the door. This is our official commitment to quarterback Jordan Love in this career simulation. Davante Adams, I do want to bring back for sure, simply because you're looking at someone who's going to be an elite wide receiving target for quite some time. So let's go ahead and offer him big money here. Let's get it up to $99 million over 4 years. This would make him, I believe, the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. We are going to offer this to Davante Adams, and he wants the duration to be longer and a better bonus. So I'm not sure if Davante Adams is going to be coming back either. Let's go ahead and bring back J.K. Scott for sure. He's pretty cheap. So we'll go ahead through here. Okay, J.K. Scott. No one wants to come back. Robert Tonyan. We're going to make sure we keep Robert Tonyan. Let's go 5 years with him at $32 million. There we go. We have Robert Tonyan in the building for a while. I'm not interested in Funchess. Valdez-Scantling. I don't really love paying that much money to Valdez-Scantling. You know, let's give... I don't really know. I don't really like a lot of these. Let's give Lucas Patrick a 2-year deal to be our backup guard, hopefully. Hopefully we can find someone who's an improvement over him. Long term, Alan Lazard. I don't really love giving Alan Lazard $4 million a year, but we're going to do it. Let's go 4 years, and let's give him this. $4.5 million a year for Alan Lazard. We bring him in for 4 more seasons. I like that. Valdez-Scantling, I'm not interested in. Chris Barnes, we're going to try and keep around because he is star development. So let's go 5 years with him. He's only 23 years old. 5 years, $24 million. Awesome. Chris Barnes is staying as well. I'm not interested in Funchess, so let's go ahead and pull that from him. And then we'll go to next week, and we'll try and get a deal done here with Davante Adams. But at this point, we are 5-2. Let's go into our roster and see how Jordan Love is progressing. It's been a very good season for us so far. It looks like quarterback Jordan Love has actually not gone up at all in overall yet. So that's a little worrisome to me. I want him to become a lot better of a player. So hopefully we see some real progression from Jordan Love. Let's go ahead and look at some trade offers here as well. This is our last chance to see trade offers right at the deadline. Do we have any first round picks at this point? Doesn't really look like we're getting that first round pick offer that I would like to see. We still have the one from Tampa Bay, but I'm just not going to do that. We're going to let Aaron Rodgers finish his career out here. It's his final season here with us. And I'm honestly content with that. Let's go take a quick look at the stats as well, specifically the passing stats. I'm interested to see. Okay, so Jordan Love's throwing a touchdown this year. It was for 3 yards. So not the most success this year for Jordan Love, but he does have 1 passing career touchdown now under his belt. He's 6'4". Aaron Rodgers is having a pretty good year as well. Good passer rating. So hopefully Jordan Love can become the guy that we are trying to have him become. That's my that's my biggest concern here. We're also going to go into weekly strategy here, and we're going to adjust the offensive game plan player health, because I want our backup QB getting a majority of the reps in practice, essentially. We're also going to change him to a focus player here for us. So let's go ahead and make Jordan Love a focus player. We'll start the training here, simulate that, and hopefully we'll see Jordan Love get quite a bit of experience as well. Let's go ahead to the offensive side. And here you see Jordan Love gets a ton of experience. So hopefully that'll be better for him kind of developing throughout the course of the year. Now let's go ahead and we'll advance to week 18, and then we'll see where we're at for playoffs. And then we'll also monitor Jordan Love's progression and also Aaron Rodgers' final year with the Green Bay Packers. So here we are now in wildcard week. We actually barely made the playoffs at 9-8. A week 18 win by 1 point over the Detroit Lions was enough to get us in there. So that's absolutely crazy. Let's go look at the playoff bracket here. We are sitting, I believe, as the 4 seed here down in the bottom right. You can see us right here against the Arizona Cardinals. So we are the 4 seed. We face Arizona week 1 of the playoffs here in the wild card weekend. The Rams actually are the 1 seed. So we've got some work to do. We'll see if we can actually fight in this playoffs and maybe hopefully win a Super Bowl in Aaron Rodgers' last season here. We'll also try and monitor his career, where he goes in free agency and all that, so that'll be interesting. We did have some injuries as well, it looks like, throughout the course of the season. Let's go ahead into the stats page here real quick as well. So Jordan Love only threw 1 more pass since the last time we checked, still only has the 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, pretty solid year, kind of threw a lot more interceptions than I was expecting, was sacked 32 times. Definitely did not have a phenomenal second half of the season, I don't think. Devontae Adams was an absolute beast, though, so that's good to see. He did his thing. Valdez-Scantling, Devin Funchess actually had a really good year, so maybe it's a mistake that I'm not bringing him back. Chris Barnes had a great year. Glad I extended him. So we're looking really good in that front. Let's see if we can also go into some more contract talks here with some guys. It doesn't look like we can actually at this point. So let's go ahead week by week here. We'll see if we win this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. And we do get by them 26-20. And now, funny enough, we are playing the Washington football team here, who I had considered trading Aaron Rodgers to. So that definitely would not have boded well for us at this point. Let's see, can we go ahead and beat the Washington football team here in the divisional round? Okay, so we actually do run up the score on the Washington football team, winning 40-14. So a big-time win here for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And now we have an NFC Conference Championship rematch between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and the Green Bay Packers in Aaron Rodgers' final season with the organization. This is to get to the Super Bowl, so there is a lot of pressure here. Can we win a Super Bowl in year 1? Haven't really made any roster moves. So this is just the Packers roster. This will be absolutely massive if they can win this game. It is at Lambeau Field because we were a division winner. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I do not believe, were. So that's why, even with a worse record, we do have home field advantage here. Let's go ahead and advance week. This is just like last year. The NFC Conference Championship game was played in Green Bay. Tampa Bay came to town. Let's see. Let's advance here. Can we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And we won 35-32. So we are playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I guess Matt LaFleur probably kept the ball in the hands of Aaron Rodgers. Probably the right thing to do. In all honesty, I would be surprised if he didn't. And now we head into the Super Bowl against the improved Kansas City Chiefs. We've got some upgrades for players here. Let's see if we have any for our quarterback, Jordan Love. We do not, so I'm just going to let them handle that on their own. Very, very exciting here because we have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and advance the week to the Super Bowl week. We are facing the Kansas City Chiefs. They were 12-5. Super Bowl 56 here. A lot of pressure, a lot of stakes. Aaron Rodgers' final season, the last dance with the Green Bay Packers. Super Bowl 56 here. Let's go ahead, advance the week, and see if Aaron Rodgers in his final season with Green Bay is able to win an NFL championship. And we lost 31-14. The straw that broke the camel's back here. The final game of the season we have lost 31-14 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes takes Super Bowl MVP. He also won NFL MVP. David Culley for the Texans was actually Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Depoy was Khalil Mack. Justin Fields wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And J.C. Horn of the Panthers actually wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So very, very interesting and exciting there. We do have some more staff points, so I'll probably go in and spend on some of that. We have about $18 million in salary cap, so let's go ahead, advance the week to the re-sign player stage, and then we'll try and improve our roster from there. I'm very, very excited about what we have. 2021 retirements, let's take a quick look at that. Let's go to the Packers and see if we had any players specifically that are out of the door. No one. So all the Packers are staying put. We weren't able to get Davante Adams under contract yet, so let's go into here and talk with him. Again, not interested in Aaron Rodgers. Davante Adams here, negotiate last chance. We're going to give him the 5-year deal, and we're going to pay him a pretty penny here. Let's go with this number right here. $125 million over 5 seasons. That is $25 million a year. Let's offer it. And Davante Adams is staying with us here with the Green Bay Packers. We needed to get that done, so I'm very happy about that. Let's go a 2-year, $2.5 million deal for J.K. Scott. We don't have the salary cap room. Okay, so this is our first struggle here now. We have to go make some moves based off of our salary cap picture. Let's look at our roster here, and actually let's go look at team salaries, because paying Davante Adams has just handicapped us quite a bit. Aaron Rodgers here, who I think we can maybe just outright release. Okay, wow. A lot of money going out here. All right, we do have our first trade here. We're actually trading Zadarius Smith to the Washington football team in order to get off of his money, and we're bringing in a 1st-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and a 6th-round pick this year. So we're getting quite a few assets for actually a really good player. He's 29 years old. And for trying to recenter around Jordan Love, I just think saving some money, trying to bring in some talented players at other positions is probably the best course of action. We do have Rashawn Gary as well, who is a young, nice player for us. So I think that moving from Zadarius Smith does make quite a bit of sense, especially when we're able to get this level of compensation from the Washington football team. Zadarius Smith is not the only Smith brother here in Green Bay to be leaving. Preston Smith is now getting traded as well to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know they're not actually brothers, but they are both 29 years old, both last name Smith. It is kind of a funny joke there in Green Bay. Preston Smith, another nice edge rusher. We're sending him to the Baltimore Ravens, picking up a 3rd-round pick. We're trying to get younger. We're trying to get cheaper. I've still got some other moves that I want to make to try and open up some salary cap space to really recenter this team, get some offensive weapons around my boy Jordan Love, and we're going to try and improve this roster from the top down. All right, we have another deal here. We have traded left tackle David Bakhtiari to the Philadelphia Eagles for pick number 7 in the draft. Now, I know Bakhtiari's a franchise left tackle, really phenomenal player, 30 years old only, but he does have an ACL injury in the past. He's very, very expensive at over $27 million. I think right now is the best time to move him. I know it is a big-time player to get rid of, but we're getting a very high draft pick back from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we're trading Bakhtiari while his value's at the highest it's going to be. We get a lot younger around Jordan Love. That is my overall goal. So let's go ahead here and try and make 1 or 2 other moves to improve this roster. Okay, we have another deal here. We're actually sending Aaron Jones to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in return we're getting their 2023 1st-round pick. So that's not this year's first, but that is actually next year, and I think this will be the final deal that I make here. We've kind of stripped the roster down. Of course, the Smiths, both gone, Zadarius and Preston Smith. Aaron Jones out the door now, and also we had traded David Bakhtiari. So we have a lot of improvement to do, but we've freed up a lot of money. We're going to go ahead now with $74 million of cap space into free agency and try and make some moves. I'm going to offer Morgan Moses a 1-year, $7 million deal to come play left tackle for us. I know historically he's been a career right tackle, but I want him to come in and play left tackle for us for a season. Kind of gives us a bridge tackle as we try and figure out our long-term starters. We, of course, traded David Bakhtiari, so that's the reason why we have to go out and get Morgan Moses. All right, I'm going to offer a 3-year, $13 million contract here to Trey Herndon. I think this is actually really, really good value for a slot cornerback. We have Eric Stokes, Jair Alexander on the outside. I think Trey Herndon can come in and be a perfect interior cornerback for us, someone who's going to play in the slot and be very, very productive in that area. I think this is a big upgrade to our roster in this spot. I'm also making a 1-year, $7 million offer to right guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. I had talked about wanting to improve at the right guard spot, and I think Duvernay-Tardif would be a very good option here to kind of bolster up some of that offensive line. I want to look around some other places, maybe look at a wide receiver, and then I'll recap free agency for you guys. All right, we're also making a 2-year, $9.5 million offer to fullback Patrick Ricard, one of the best in the game at the fullback position. I want him to be our starting fullback. Last year, we didn't really have a fullback that I could rely on consistently. I think Ricard comes in, helps our running game, especially with trading Aaron Jones. I think we need a little bit more help in the backfield. Patrick Ricard going to be really good in that area. All right, here as well, I offered a 1-year, $7 million contract to Ryan Fitzpatrick to be our backup quarterback this next season. I think that he could come in as a mentor role to Jordan Love and really help as a backup quarterback in case something does happen to Jordan Love in case of an injury. I think Fitzpatrick could keep us competitive in the short term as well. I like this a lot for Jordan Love. Get him a mentor and also someone who can play if he has to. All right, so here are my signings after the first week of free agency. Patrick Ricard here did sign that 2-year, $9.5 million deal. Trey Herndon, we brought him in on a 3-year, $13 million contract. Morgan Moses comes in on a 1-year, $7 million deal. And also Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in on a 1-year, $7 million deal as well. So we have a couple $7 million deals. And for negotiations, Duvernay-Tardif is still out here. It does not look like we're going to actually be able to bring him in unless I up my offer for him. We might do that. And then also Michael Gallup, we're actually back out to 5th. So I'm going to go ahead, up my offer here and try and make a move for him because I really want to bring in Michael Gallup, to be honest. Let's go up to $54 million. All right, updated offer here for Michael Gallup because of some other offers coming in for him. We're going 4 years, $54 million. Hopefully that is enough to get him. It does put us in second, so we still might lose out, but that's going to be my max bid for him. And then Duvernay-Tardif, let's actually work this up to a 1-year, $9 million contract because I have the money to pay that. So we might as well, right? Like 1 year, $9 million for Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. Hopefully that is enough to land him. It looks like it should be. So let's advance one more week. We'll see if we're able to bring in Gallup or not. My guess right now is probably not. So we might have to look at addressing that via the draft. But that'll be okay. Yeah, Michael Gallup did actually reject our offer. That is all right, though. We did get Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. So our team did take a little bit of a step back. We're not going to probably make it back to the Super Bowl here in year 1 of Jordan Love. That was my expectation. That's why I made some moves that maybe necessarily aren't the most winning moves in the short term, but I think long term could have some really nice effects for us. Let's go back into free agency here. We still have about $33 million in cap space. So maybe Aaron Rodgers still hasn't been signed up, funny enough. There's some other guys out here that maybe could help us out, possibly. Oh, we do need to go back to punter and grab J.K. Scott for sure. I do want him for sure. Let's go with a 3-year, $9.75 million offer for J.K. Scott. That should be enough to get him. We do still have Mason Crosby under contract as well. All right, here we are now in the NFL draft. Let's go ahead and skip by pick. Madden still hasn't fixed the issue here with the blinding screen, so I love that. I'm not sure exactly why they have it the way that they do, but that's what they have done. So kind of can't really even see who's going. So let's go ahead just to the next user pick. Our first pick here is pick 7. Of course, this comes from the trade of David Bakhtiari. So let's go ahead and now look at the board, see if there's anyone we're in love with here on the board. All right, I've actually decided I'm going to trade down here. I have an offer from the Cleveland Browns to move down 3 spots to pick 10 in this year's draft. I also get to add a 3rd and a 7th this year, so I'm going to add a lot of depth this way and only move down 3 spots is kind of what I think is well worth doing here. So let's go ahead now and skip to our next pick as well, and we'll see kind of who goes. Trent Wayne goes off the board. Then they go Ken Morgan here, the QB out of TCU. And then Marvin McNeil. Okay, great. So now our player we wanted is still here. Let's go ahead and make our selection. This is the player I wanted to take. And it's Mark Grant here, halfback out of LSU. He's only 21 years old. He's extremely fast and electric. Fastest player in the class, in my opinion. Quickest player in the class. Really good juke coming in. He's an early first-round grade player. and he's actually ranked 3rd in true talent, 80 overall hidden. And wow, is he a beast. 94 acceleration, 92 juke move coming in, 87 change of direction. I think Mark Grant is a home run pick there. He's wearing that number 7 LSU jersey, so you know he's going to be a beast with number 7 for LSU last year. For those of you who don't know, LSU does that with their best player. So Mark Grant comes in, phenomenal grab for us. He's going to be a great Aaron Jones replacement, a lot younger, a lot cheaper. We also have some other first-round picks this year, so let's go ahead and jump to our next one. With the 25th pick in the draft here, I'm going to take wide receiver Jalen Eason out of Notre Dame. Again, we're going to really prioritize speed and getting some players that are going to help Jordan Love out, and he's hidden 75 overall, 21st in true talent. I really like this grab. He's going to be star development or better, 96 speed, pretty good deep route runner. I think he's a perfect complement to Davante Adams. And I think that we're really trying to improve this roster. 93 change of direction. He's going to be a very nice player, Jalen Eason. Coming into Green Bay, I love this as an option for Jordan Love. Let's go ahead and sim to our very next pick. All right, with the second to last pick of the 3rd round here, I'm actually going to take safety Dante Benedict out of Virginia Tech. Now, he's a zone cover safety. We don't have a lot of information on him. Our scouting department didn't really get out to Virginia Tech this year, it looks like. But we're going to go ahead and make this selection anyway because I like his physical profile. Impressed me at the combine. He's 68 overall. He's 21 years old, so he's not the best pick here. But I think he gives us a little bit of something to develop towards for the future, trying to improve our long-term safety position. I'm going to take some risk picks at the end of the draft here, try and improve some of our depth and also make some other moves along the way. All right, second to last pick here, the 4th round, I'm going to go with right outside linebacker Jeremy Eubanks. I like what he brings, 64 overall. Kind of a reach here, not going to lie about it, but he's very good athletically. He's going to probably be the starter day 1 because we did end up trading away Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. A little bit of a youth movement here. We'll probably have to look to replace him next year, honestly, but we'll see if he can develop for us and maybe turn into something. I'm taking some stabs with him with some of these picks, so that's kind of the goal here. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Utility Sports as well. I'm going to be taking another stab here at an outside linebacker, Walt McDonald here, second to last pick of the 4th round, I believe. And again, not a very good selection here. Just probably won't actually pan out, but we're taking some stabs, trying some things out, probably going to move down the rest of our selections. All right, I'm going to take another linebacker here, Felix Gilmore out of the University of Alabama. 63 overall, so not a very great selection, ranked 233rd in true talent. But a depth linebacker nonetheless for us. That was a goal for me coming into this draft, is to get a little bit of depth on that defense after moving some guys. So I like what we've done for the most part. I really like the guys we took in the 1st round. I definitely think that we probably could have done better with some of those later picks. But at the end of the day, I'm still pretty happy about everything as a whole here, especially Mark Grant, who I think is an absolute beast. I'm hoping for X Factor on him. Jalen Eason, I think, will be a beast as well. These two guys are going to be really, really good players for us. Dante Benedict, I'm actually pretty happy about. And then also Larry Lofton, I'm pretty happy about. Let's go ahead and see if I can move him to a tight end and what happens to his overall. I hope he's a pretty good tight end, I would think, with his speed. I think he's going to be pretty solid in that area. So let's go ahead and take a look at him then. If he's a tight end, he is actually a 68 overall. So not terrible. Not necessarily the best either, but I think he could have some run for us at that tight end position. So let's now go ahead, advance into next season, and then we'll see what we can do year 1 with Jordan Love starting. All right, here is the depth chart heading into next season. We have Jordan Love as our starting QB. Of course, he is the player we are most focused on here in this franchise, trying to rebuild around this Green Bay Packers roster. Mark Grant, the starting halfback here. A.J. Dillon going to back him up. I think this is a really good 1-2 punch. We have a power back here who's hard to tackle, absolute freight train in A.J. Dillon, and Mark Grant, who's a speed demon at the running back position out of LSU, wearing that nice number 7. Patrick Ricard is our starting fullback. Then we have Davante Adams, Jalen Eason, and Amari Rodgers as our as our top 3 wide receivers, rather. I ended up putting Amari Rodgers 3rd on the depth chart here because I'd like to see him progress a little bit. 1-year player now out of the University of Clemson. He's very shifty. He's going to be able to make guys miss tackles. He's not the fastest player, but I like his compact frame. I think he's going to be really nice out of the slot occasionally, and I think he's a good complement to our 1 and 2 receivers here in Adams and Jalen Eason. Tight end, we have Robert Tonyan with Jay Sternberger and then Josiah DeGuara as the 1-2-3 options. Tanyan, of course, the best one. Morgan Moses is playing left tackle for us this year. Elton Jenkins at left guard, of course. Josh Myers is our starting center this year. I think this is a real spot where we could look to upgrade long term. Then we have Lauren Duvernay-Tardif here at right guard. Of course, another one-year guy. We're going to have to really address the offensive line next draft. Billy Turner starting at right tackle. Then we have Dean Lowry playing left end. Right end, we have Kingsley Kiki. D tackle here, playing the nose tackle for us. Kenny Clark, very, very good in that area. One of our best players on the team still at this point. Very young as well. Rashawn Gary, an absolute beast off the outside linebacker position. I'm really excited to see what he does this year for us. Then at the middle linebacker spot, we have Chris Barnes here, as well as Kamal Martin. But we will be having Dante Benedict playing a little bit of sub linebacker for us. Felix Gilmore is our starting right outside linebacker at this point. We also have Jeremy Eubanks rushing off the edge for us every once in a while. So that's kind of the current breakdown of the right outside linebacker spot. Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes are our two boundary corners. Trey Herndon playing in the slot. We could probably use a fourth cornerback at this point. Let's maybe put in Dante Benedict up here as well, just in order for him to get as much play time as possible. Darnell Savage here. And then we have Adrian Amos with Dante Benedict being his backup there. Kicker Mason Crosby, punter J.K. Scott, and our kick returner and punt returner this year will be Jalen Eason. We're trying to get him the ball as much as possible. So now here in week 1, we play the New York Giants. This is going to be Jordan Love's first career start. We're going to sim to the midpoint of the season and see how everything's going, and we'll get you guys there when I get there. We're going to advance to the midpoint of the season, check in on how we're doing, see how Jordan Love is playing as a quarterback for us, and then maybe make some moves there depending on our record, how we're sitting in the NFC North. I think this is our division still to win. I think we are arguably the best team in the division. We'll see if we're able to pull it off, though. If not, we might have to make some selling moves at the deadline. All right, here at the midpoint of the season, we are actually 4-3, one game ahead of the Detroit Lions, who we play this week, and only one game back of the division as well. The Chicago Bears are sitting at 5-2, which is kind of surprising to me. Justin Fields last year was, of course, the Offensive Rookie of the Year, so maybe he's developed pretty nicely. Let's go ahead and take a look quick at our stats, see how Jordan Love specifically is doing. He's having a phenomenal season. Jordan Love is playing lights out, which I absolutely love to see. 1,800 passing yards on 222 attempts, 18 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. If he can keep this up all year, we are looking at a legit franchise quarterback. So I'm very, very happy to see this. Mark Grant having actually a pretty bad start to the season, only averaging 3 yards a carry, so that's kind of concerning to me. 2 rushing touchdowns. Luckily, our passing game is going so well currently. If our running game picks it up, I think we could really make the playoffs year 1 here with Jordan Love. Devontae Adams is being a beast. Jalen Eason keeping up with Devontae Adams basically in every single area. Has the same number of touchdowns, essentially the same number of yards. Jalen Eason looks like a big-time hit in the draft, so I'm very, very happy about that. Let's see. He is just star development, so he's not a superstar. That's unfortunate. Is Mark Grant? Do we know his yet? He's still hidden. Mark Grant is still hidden, so we don't necessarily know what he will be at this point. Robert Tonyan doing his thing. Amari Rodgers actually been pretty productive as well. Only averaging 9.7 yards a catch, but he does have 4 touchdowns on the year. Mark Grant has actually caught 3 touchdowns as well, so he's been productive as a pass catcher. So I guess his season hasn't been that bad, really. Blocking, let's go ahead and see who's giving up sacks. Morgan Moses, Billy Turner. I mean, the offensive line's holding in pretty good. That's 13 sacks allowed. That's something you can live with. Chris Barnes, Trey Herndon, both doing their thing. Let's see who's our sack leader at this point. 4 for Kenny Clark. Rashawn Gary's really not doing as much as what I would like to see from him. Tackle for loss leader, Dean Lowry and Kingsley Kiki, both doing a very good job there. Let's see who's giving up a ton of catches. Jair Alexander is actually giving up the most catches on the team, which is surprising because he's one of the best cornerbacks in all of football. No defensive touchdowns. I don't think we'll have a defensive safety. Who leads the team in deflections? Chris Barnes, actually. He's had a pretty nice year for us. I'm glad we got him locked in. Let's look at his development. He's an 80 overall, so that's good. Let's see the kick return. Jalen Eason, not having a great kick return year. Definitely not a great punt return year, so maybe we'll make some changes there. But Jordan Love, playing like an absolute menace. He's up to a 75 overall, and he's really progressed well. He's he's looking very, very good, actually. So I'm very happy to see Jordan Love having such a productive season at this point. I'm very, very happy to see that. We do have 73 staff points as well. So I'm going to go ahead here, upgrade the staff, and then I'm going to sim to week 18. We'll see where we're sitting, and then we'll simulate week 18 together. We're making a massive offer here to cornerback Jair Alexander. He's a 99 overall superstar X Factor. He's 25 years old. Like I said, he is an absolute beast. There's no way we can't offer him a contract. 5 years, $127 million, and it's enough. Jair Alexander is staying with the Green Bay Packers. That was a big key decision for me. We also have to go here with Rashawn Gary. Let's see what we can do for him. He wants a lot of money, but he's only 24 years old. I think he's well worth it. Let's go ahead here. 5 years, $85 million. Rashawn Gary is staying as well. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, I think he would be nice to keep around for one more year, maybe even. So let's go ahead here and offer 1 year, $6.65 million. Duvernay-Tardif is staying around. I like that. Kingsley Kiki's going to be eligible to talk to as well, and also Dean Lowry, who's having a nice year this year, only wants $4 million, so I might actually go for a couple of years on this at $8.4 million here. And great, we got Dean Lowry locked up for a while. Morgan Moses wants a new contract. That's something I'm not really willing to go into yet. I want to probably draft a tackle. And also, Adrian Amos wants a contract, and I just don't necessarily know if that's something we're going to be able to do or not. We did sim past the trade deadline, though. We are 5-3 now at this point. We did beat the Detroit Lions, so probably going to lose Adrian Amos in free agency. I just don't plan on really retaining him at the number he's going to want. Let's go take a look at that, what that number is again, just to be 100% certain. Adrian Amos wants $10 million a year. I mean, he's 29 years old, so I just don't really see that as something I'm going to do. I'm going to upgrade my staff now, like I said, and then we'll go ahead and sim to week 18, and we'll catch you guys there. All right, my apologies. I accidentally simmed 1 week too many. We actually went 9-8 again this year, so not really a drop off in the regular season. However, it does not look like we had enough to make the playoffs here in the NFC, as we did not. We actually did not make it as a wild card team this year like we did last year. But we did end the season on a positive note with a 45-10 win over the New England Patriots. So let's go ahead here and take a look at some of our stats this season. I want to specifically see how Jordan Love did, and he had a phenomenal season. Oh my goodness, Jordan Love was an absolute beast. This is what we want to see here in Green Bay. Jordan Love, 38 passing touchdowns, only 11 interceptions, up to a 79 overall with morale, and had a phenomenal year. Just played lights out, honestly, which is what you want to see. Played every single game, basically every single snap, so very, very good to see this from Jordan Love. I'm very, very happy about that. Mark Grant finished the year with only 840 rushing yards, only 3 rushing touchdowns too, so did struggle a little bit. Did not have the year I was hoping. Did break 42 tackles, so I still think he's a beast, but I was hoping to see him kind of hit that 1,000-yard rushing mark. Devontae Adams, Jalen Eason both had great years. Love to see that. Robert Tonyan and Amari Rodgers did pretty well as well. Mark Grant, 355 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. I think he could have had a better season, if I'm being honest. I'm a little disappointed about Mark Grant's rookie year, but maybe year 2 he'll have a little bit more production, which I'm looking forward to see. Morgan Moses, thank God I did not extend him. Ended up giving up 17 sacks on the season, so not a good showing for Morgan Moses. I'm glad to be moving on from him. Defense, Chris Barnes led the team in tackles. Very, very good. Did end up giving up a ton of catches. Jair Alexander did as well, actually. Jair Alexander only had 2 interceptions on the year. Still no defensive touchdowns or 1 safety for Dean Lowry. Let's see here. Mason Crosby, 18 of 25 on field goals, which is really not good. Let's see. Where was he missing from? Okay, well, most of his misses came from 50 yards or more, so actually not a terrible season for him. J.K. Scott, pretty nice year punting. Eason was the #1 returner. Did not do a great job punt returning, though. But the storyline here is Jordan Love. 4,700 yards, 38 passing touchdowns. That is a phenomenal start to his career as a starter in the NFL and for our Green Bay Packers here. Very, very happy about that. Let's go ahead here, advance through the playoffs. I'm going to do some more staff points upgrades, and then we're going to catch you guys in free agency. All right, everyone, we do actually have an award here. Jordan Love won quarterback of the year in the NFC and actually got a ton of XP, just put his upgrades in, and also got, as you can see here up to this side, superstar development. So his new abilities are actually quick draw. Passers with this ability have faster passing animations when they are throwing under pressure, and also roaming deadeye. Passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all unpressured throws while their feet are set outside the pocket, which is very, very exciting here, seeing that superstar development, because that means he'll develop a little bit quicker yet. He's only 24 years old. So we're looking at a long time here of Jordan Love, seeing what he can do throughout his career here for the Green Bay Packers. I'm very excited for it. Right now in the Super Bowl too, we do have the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, versus the Carolina Panthers. So let's go ahead here, advance the week, see who is the Super Bowl winner. And it does look like the Kansas City Chiefs repeat. Nick Bolton, actually the Super Bowl MVP. Very surprising there. Was not expecting that. Mahomes wins MVP and Offensive Player of the Year again. Urban Meyer wins Coach of the Year. Khalil Mack, again, Defensive Player of the Year. Ken Morgan, the guy who went to the Eagles 8th overall, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Falcons is actually Al Bayless. So very interesting and exciting there. Carolina Panthers, surprising that they made it that far, come up just short in the Super Bowl. And now we are into the offseason. So let's go ahead here, advance the week. We'll jump into the re-sign phase, and then we'll let you guys know really what's going on. Let's see if we have some retirements here for Green Bay this time. Let's go down to the Packers yet again and really see what we have going on. Fitzpatrick and Mason Crosby both call it quits. So Fitzpatrick, his final year of his career was spent backing up Jordan Love in Green Bay. And then Mason Crosby, a longtime Packer, calls it quits as well. Adrian Amos is out here, and this is why I didn't want to extend him. Notice how he's down to an 86 overall. I probably should have traded him. Morgan Moses has regressed quite a bit as well, down to a 73. Kingsley Keke, I'm interested in keeping around. He had a pretty good year for us. He's actually quite expensive. 2 years, $16 million. We get a deal done, though. I'm happy about that. Billy Turner had a pretty good year last year. Let's go ahead and bring him back on a 2-year deal. At this price point, I can't really go wrong with that. Worst case, he's a depth tackle. He said he's going to test free agency. All right, well, you go ahead, Billy Turner. Jay Sternberger. You know, I don't really know if we need to pay that much for our backup tight end at this point, especially if we could just upgrade and get a better one. So it looks like we're just going to go ahead here without Adrian Amos. I'm not really interested in him, so let's go ahead and move forward into free agency and see what we can do. We do have a little bit of salary cap space, so maybe we're able to improve our roster just a little bit. Here at left tackle, I'm going to offer Andre Dillard a 2-year, $12.3 million deal. His career with the Eagles just hasn't gone exactly how he planned. I think this is actually pretty good value for a possible starting left tackle. We're still going to look to improve in the draft possibly, or in other free agent areas, but I think Andre Dillard could be a nice little tackle add for us. Here I'm going to offer Jamel Dean a 3-year, near $28 million deal. I think he's a big improvement over Eric Stokes, honestly, as an outside corner for us at this point. Stokes just hasn't developed as much as I would hope. So hopefully this is enough to get Jamel Dean. We do have a lead right now over the Rams. He has 8 bids currently, so there's a lot of teams interested. We might not be able to get him. If not, I'm okay with that. He's only 26 years old, though, at this point. So I think he would be a nice little grab for us. He is star development as well. We're going to keep looking around free agency and see if we can find anything else I'm interested in. All right, I'm offering Nick Foles a 2-year, $9 million deal to be the backup quarterback here. Hopefully that is enough to get a deal done there. I'm going to continue looking around free agency for a few other slight upgrades on the roster. So I decided there wasn't really anyone else out there in free agency that I was interested in acquiring. So now looking at who actually did sign here, Nick Foles came in, Andre Dillard has accepted his contract, and also Jamel Dean. So our 3 targets did come in. Now the one thing I'm interested in seeing actually is our roster. All right, so looking at our roster here, our starting quarterback, of course, Jordan Love, superstar development, 81 overall with morale. Then we have Nick Foles backing him up there, someone with Super Bowl experience, and that's really where we're trying to get with Jordan Love. A halfback here, we have Mark Grant, who actually is an X factor. Let's look at his progression history. That's insane. I don't know when we found that out. He has first one free, recuperation, recovers from fatigue faster, and also evasive, steerable juke and spin animation. So very, very exciting there. He's an X factor player. So it looks like I absolutely killed it on that selection. AJ Dillon, the backup back, Kylan Hill, Dexter Williams, not too much movement there at the halfback spot. Patrick Ricard is our starting fullback still. Devontae Adams, Jalen Eason, who I believe is only a star development. That's unfortunate. I was hoping he'd be superstar. Alan Lazard, Amari Rogers, Steven Sims. Kind of the same old crew here at wide receiver. Tight end, we got the same crew as well. Larry Lofton is going to be hopefully our backup this next season though. Andre Dillard at left tackle. Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers. Lauren Duvernay-Tardif's back for one more year. Right tackle, currently don't have one because Billy Turner is actually out in free agency still. Dean Lowry here. Kingsley Kiki, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, Chris Barnes, Jeremy Eubanks starting right outside linebacker, need to improve there. Jair Alexander, Jamel Dean, Trey Herndon, Eric Stokes are our top 4 cornerbacks. Pretty good depth there now as well with the Jamel Dean addition. Darnell Savage at starting free safety, and then Dante Benedict is our starting strong safety. So we still need to improve in some areas. We also do need to find a kicker. So actually let me go back into free agency real quick and sign a kicker at this point. Because that is something we badly need. Can't go into next season without a kicker. All right, to address the kicker spot, we're actually going to go with kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, Hot Rod himself. Love the goggles, love the glasses. We're going with him here. 102 points on that offer, so very, very likely that we're able to get him. We also need to look at a right tackle real quickly as well. Morgan Moses is still out here. We do have Isaiah Wilson out here, so maybe I make a quick offer to him. Only a 1-year deal because of some of the issues he's had off the field. I'm not necessarily interested in making a big time offer to him. But if that's enough to bring him in on a cheap 1-year contract, he could be a nice depth tackle for us possibly. Of course, man, you don't really have to deal with the personalities of the players as much. Let's go ahead and advance, see if we get those free agents. We did get both of them. Isaiah Wilson and Hot Rod Blankenship are now in the fray for us. So now, key thing for us is going into the draft looking for some help at some key positions. And I think that there's some really good options out there, hopefully, for us. So let's go ahead into the draft. We're going to transition over there. In our division, actually really big thing, Tyreek Hill signed with the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings should be improved this year for sure going into this next season. We do have 3 first-round picks again this year. So we'll see if we can hit on those. Let's go ahead and start the NFL draft. We're going to pause right away, see who's really on the board for us, and then maybe try and move up even if there is a guy that we're in love with. So let's view our draft board here. All right, here with the 16th pick, I'm actually going to take left outside linebacker David Barrett. I didn't see anyone in the top 10 that I felt like I necessarily needed to move up for. I don't think Barrett's necessarily the best grab here, but I do think it's a really key position for us to improve at. He's 28th in true talent, but he is hidden, which is really, really good for us. He's got good speed, good acceleration, and it's a massive upgrade. 74 overall. It is a very, very big time upgrade at that edge position for us in the 3-4 defense that we're running. So I thought it was very, very essential we hit there. We're going to come back, probably make a couple other selections here in the first round. And then I'm also looking to really improve the offensive line in this draft. Pick 20 here in the first round, we're going to go with right guard Brett Bennett out of LSU. He was the right guard for our star halfback. When he found the most success in his career, we're trying to bring that success to the NFL. And we're going to start here by building up the offensive line. Right guard Brett Bennett, 74 overall, only a normal development. So a little bit of a miss hit here on the draft pick. But I still do think he is a nice build-around little option for us. He can kick out to tackle if we really need him to. He might be our starting right tackle this year. So I do like Brett Bennett. Even though he is only a normal, I still think that's a pretty solid selection. Pick 24 here in the first round. We're going to go look at the strong safety spot. A safety out of USF. He's 21 years old only. Phenomenal athlete. And I think he's going to be a really nice addition to the strong safety spot. He's a 75 overall, only normal development. So again, not phenomenal, but he is 14th in true talent. And I think he's going to be a really nice upgrade over Dante at that strong safety position. We badly needed to address there, and I think Tyrone Beckham is a big-time improvement for us. Let's go ahead here into the second round. We have the 9th pick in that round. Okay, 9th pick now of the second round. We're going to go with left tackle Devin Rose here out of USC. I think it's a little bit of a reach again, but he's 71 overall hidden. Very, very nice offensive tackle. He's very strong, good lead block. He might be best kicking into guard, honestly, which was my concern before I drafted him. I think he's more of an agile guard than he is a franchise left tackle. So we might have to kick him into guard. But at the end of the day, I still think he was well worth drafting, and him being a hidden definitely gives us some value. Let's jump to our next pick now. 16th pick of the second round, I'm going best player available here. That's safety Kevin Friedman. I know we already took a safety this year. We took one last year. I'm just bringing him into the fold. He's hidden development, actually, so he's better than the one we already took. And this is why I went and took that risk, because then he becomes the starter here for us. 90 speed, 88 acceleration, very, very good in the run game. Needs to improve as a pass coverage safety. So maybe we even put him in at sub linebacker, but I think he's a very, very strong option here for us. Kevin Friedman out of Arizona State. I love this selection for our Packers. 12th pick of the third round here, we're going with a speed rushing edge, Dre Pittman out of the University of Oklahoma. I think he's a very good grab here at this point. 71 overall. Very good speed and acceleration. Again, we're trying to put speed on the field at all times, and I think he's going to be a very nice addition for our Packers defense. Let's go ahead here to our next selection, which is actually right here. And we're going to make this next pick as well. Let's look around the board. Is there anything that I'm in love with here? Deontay Dobbins is out here. He's a physical wide receiver. Not really that fast, though, which kind of hurts. We could use another tight end. What's along the offensive line? Here, we're actually going to go with center Jose Cardona. I think this is a really good grab here at this point. 73 overall. He's a normal. Again, so we're not getting super lucky on the development traits for some of these guys. But I think he's a nice depth center for us. Can slate in, can start if we need him to. Gives a little bit of depth behind Josh Myers. And we're trying to improve our offensive line. We're saving a lot of money in the process doing that. Taking some guys here that are going to help really improve our roster long term. Let's see here, what else can we do to help out our young quarterback? There's some more centers out here that are maybe worth looking at. Another right tackle's out here, another edge. Linebacker play. Mod Davis could be interesting in case of an injury. Let's go ahead here, take Ahmad Davis. He's a 68 overall. Not necessarily the best player. I think the rest of these picks here, I'm going to probably try and trade down, get some extra assets for next season, and then we'll catch you on the other side. The draft recap here now. We took David Barrett, a 74 overall outside linebacker with pick 16. 74 overall right guard Brett Bennett as well, pick 20. Pick 24, we went with 75 overall safety Tyrone Beckham. Then we went with Devin Rose, who I think I'm going to kick into guard. We also went with Kevin Friedman, who I think is going to be a starting strong safety to start the year. Dre Pittman at left end. Jose Cardona, a backup center for us. Then we went to Ahmad Davis. We took a backup QB long-term because then he'll be on a 4-year very cheap deal for us to be a long-term backup. Then that way going into next offseason, we won't have to look to add any more behind Nick Foles. Deron German, I took as a cornerback. I actually think he's a pretty nice depth piece. Greg Halen, we went with a punter. Probably put him on the practice squad, and maybe we'll save some money not having to re-sign J.K. Scott down the road. And then Joel Benedict, who I think is going to be a nice depth receiver for us. Those are the guys we drafted. Trade down the rest of the picks to next season. We have a ton of assets next year as well, so maybe we'll look to try and get a little bit more aggressive with the current team. So let's go ahead. I'll catch you guys when we get into the regular season. They decided to trade away Lauren Duvernay-Tardif after addressing the right guard spot in the draft. We moved him to the Houston Texans for a third-round pick, which I really like because he wasn't going to be a key part for our long-term future. Houston needed a right guard really badly, so we get a nice asset from them, and in turn, Brett Bennett becomes the starting right guard for us for the future. All right, a look at the depth chart here heading into year 3 of the franchise and year 2 as Jordan Love, the starting quarterback. He is 79 overall as the starter here. We've got a 3-deep rotation now. Mark Grant is, of course, the starting halfback. We actually have an injury to A.J. Dillon. He's out 1 week, so he will be the backup halfback right now. Kylan Hill will fill in there. Fullback Patrick Ricard, Devontae Adams, Jalen Eason, and Amari Rogers. Again, the top 3 wide receivers. I was really happy with their performance and production last year. Robert Tonyan, the tight end, with Larry Lofton being the number 2 tight end there. Left tackle, we have Andre Dillard. Left guard, Elton Jenkins. Moving into the center spot, we have Josh Myers backed up by Jose Cardona, our rookie. Right guard, we got Brett Bennett here starting at that right guard spot. And then right tackle, I actually decided to go with Devin Rose. He's the hidden development left tackle we took. I'm moving him over to right tackle, trying to ease him into the NFL. A little bit easier side to play on. I want the right tackle and right guard here to really grow together and build out that right side of the line for me. Left end, we got Dean Lowry yet again. At the right end position, we have Kingsley Keke. D-tackle Kenny Clark with Keke being the backup here in our 3-4. David Barrett playing, excuse me, this should be, David Barrett playing left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker Chris Barnes here. Right outside linebacker we have Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Jamel Dean, Trey Herndon, Eric Stokes are our top 4 cornerbacks at this point. Darnell Savage playing free safety with Tyrone Beckham backing him up. Then Kevin Friedman is our starting strong safety with Dante Benedict playing backup yet again this year. Hot Rod Blankenship is our kicker, and our punter is J.K. Scott, turning the kick returning duties over to Deron Herman. And then also Amari Rogers is our punt returner this year, trying to keep our wide receivers a little bit more fresh instead of having Eason doing all of it. And we actually have Mark Grant as the power back this year too, trying to get him a little bit more production this year. Obviously once A.J. Dillon's back, maybe that'll shift, but I would like to see him do that. Let's go ahead and sim the first week here against the Carolina Panthers, who are just in the Super Bowl. This is a big prove-it game for us here. Are we able to beat them? We get our butts kicked, 42-14. Not necessarily what I like to see, but nonetheless, I have to go fix my depth chart, and we'll catch you guys at the midpoint of the season. Okay, here we are now in Week 8. We're actually 3-3 at this point, just coming off of our bye week. We are about to face the Atlanta Falcons, who are 2-4. We're 2 games back in the division to the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go ahead and take a look at our statistics quick. Jordan Love doesn't look like he's having as great of a year as he had last year. 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. A.J. Dillon actually is leading the way in carries. Mark Grant, for some reason, just hasn't been getting a lot of run. I don't understand what's going on there. He must have been injured for a little while and missed a lot of games. Okay, yeah, he's played 2 games, so that's why. Receiving, Devontae Adams leading the way. Steven Sims actually has quite a few catches. Where's Eason? Eason only played 4 games. Okay, so we've had some injuries as well. That has thrown a little bit of a wrench into things, it seems. Offensive line's been pretty solid. Brett Bennett. Devin Rose is having a great year. That's what I like to see. Darnell Savage leading the team in tackles right now. It's probably not a good sign if your safety's getting the most tackles. A few interceptions across the board. We're not getting to the quarterback at all. Rashawn Gary, kind of disappointing me here. Only half a sack. We might have to go make a move for a left end. Honestly, I need a little bit more help in that area. We just haven't been as productive as I would like. So we might go make a trade for a left end or a right end, and then we'll be back once we have a deal done. Okay, massive part of the franchise here. Jordan Love needs an extension, and we are going to give it to him. He wants $128 million. We're going to actually up that a little bit to make sure that we get a deal done with him. This is a massive amount of money that we're about to pay out to him, but he's well worth it. So far, he's shown that to us. $135 million over the next 5 seasons. And Jordan Love is staying with the franchise for the next 5 seasons. He's tied with us through the 2028 season now. I'm very excited about that. A.J. Dillon wants a contract, and I'm not necessarily sure if I'm ready to do that yet at this point. That's $15 million. I just don't know if we need to be paying that much for a running back like him, so I might go and try and make some moves here. I do want to keep Patrick Ricard around, actually, so let's go ahead here and offer this to him. $9.4 million over 2 years, so he gets basically an identical deal to what he's playing on right now. I like that a lot. We're going to go try and make a move around A.J. Dillon and see if we can bring in a high-end asset. All right, and we have a deal done here. We're actually trading halfback A.J. Dillon to the Atlanta Falcons, and in return, we're getting Grady Jarrett, who I know this looks like a crazy deal for us that we're getting 8 overall better, but he's actually on a pretty expensive contract, and he's 30 years old. So we're getting a guy who's going to help us for the short term, and we're giving up a young running back to do so. So I don't necessarily know if I fully love this, but like I said, I wanted to improve at the edge spot. But I actually couldn't find any other offers I was really interested in executing at this point. So I am just going to go ahead and advance here to the end of the season. I'm hoping we have enough to make the playoffs this year after the addition of Grady Jarrett. So I hope that's enough for our team. We're going to advance, and we'll see exactly how we do. Here we are now in week 18, and you can see we are 10-6, actually about to face off the 5-11 Detroit Lions. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the schedule here to see kind of how our most recent games have gone. I want to kind of see how it plays out. So we actually did win 3 straight games here after that Panthers game, and then we actually had a couple bad losses in a row. This is when we had last seen we were 3-3, and then we destroyed the Falcons, lost a close one to the Saints, beat the Lions narrowly, which is kind of scary. Nice win against the Eagles, got absolutely demolished by the Kansas City Chiefs. Lost to the Chicago Bears, beat the Cincinnati Bengals by quite a bit, beat the Bears narrowly. So it's funny, the Bears here are actually the team we're tied with. We have a 4-point loss and a 4-point win against them. The Vikings we beat, and then the Broncos we beat leading up to week 18 here against the Lions. So it'll be very interesting to see kind of how this game goes. We do have 131 staff points as well. So I'm very excited to see, holy cow, Mahomes has 49 passing touchdowns at this point and 5,500 yards already. So he's had a crazy season. We are actually not in the stat leader for either category. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our stats. Jordan Love having another good year. I'm actually really happy with Jordan Love. 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions so far. This is not the end of the season yet either, so it's very possible that he could either sell the bag a little bit or pick up some more. What is going on? Mark Grant just could not stay healthy this year. Only played in 5 games. Had 172 rushing yards. That's actually really, really concerning to me. He's a really, really good player. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. What's his injury rating? 94. I mean, he should be staying healthy, but he just hasn't been to this point. That's a little concerning. Receiving, Devontae Adams had another great year. Jalen Eason actually has taken a little bit of a step back in year 2. Amari Rodgers had a nice year. Steven Sims played pretty well as well. So real variety here in the pass catchers this season. Blocking, let's see how our guys have done. Josh Myers, okay, Rose ended up having a bad end to the season. But all in all, the offensive line play is actually pretty solid. I'll live with that. Going forward, Chris Barnes leading our team in tackles. Jair Alexander here as well. We're just not generating a lot of takeaways, are we? Very, very disappointing. Deflections, Kamal Martin had quite a few. Jair Alexander, again, gave up the most catches on the team. So he has not had a phenomenal season yet again, but he's still worth paying. Does have a fumble recovery. No defensive touchdowns for us on the year. No safeties. I am interested to see our sacks now. Grady Jarrett, okay, well worth acquiring. Maybe this is really what's moved the needle for us. He has 14.5 sacks. Kenny Clark's been a beast. David Barrett actually picked up his play a little bit. Rashawn Gary missed some time, I know. How many games did he miss? Actually only missed 1 game, so that's a little disappointing at this point with how much we're paying him. He should be having better seasons than that. 9 tackles for loss. We might actually trade him to save some money, I guess. I don't want to have to do that, but that might be the route that we go. But all in all, Barrett had a really nice rookie season. I'm very happy with that. Grady Jarrett, a phenomenal addition. We're going to go ahead here, put some stuff into our franchise staff points, and then we're going to probably sim, and we'll see if we make the postseason or not. All right, I got my staff points spent. Let's go ahead now and advance the week here. 10-6, we're at home at Lambeau Field against the Detroit Lions. This should be a win, and we won by 14 points. All right, 35-21, very nice. We are actually facing up with the New Orleans Saints in round 1 of the playoffs here in the wild card weekend. We are at home, luckily. Dante Benedict is coming back from injury. Who else is coming back from injury? Brett Bennett. Okay, nice. So we've had some good development along the offensive line, which I like to see. We will go ahead and check that here in a second, what our development looks like for some of our guys. Jordan Love, did he lose his... I don't know. Very interesting. But all in all, we're playing very, very well, it looks like. Our team's up to an 87 overall, which is actually really, really good. Let's go ahead and take a final look at stats. All right, Jordan Love up to 31 passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Very, very great season from Jordan Love. Mark Grant, again, very disappointing. 192 rush yards only in year 2. Devontae Adams ended up having 100 catches. Eason almost went for crazy 7s here. Blocking we looked at already. Chris Barnes had a good year for us like we expected. Blankenship, very efficient. J.K. Scott, nice year punting. Herman did okay returning. Jalen Eason, solid punt return season for him. And that's really kind of what we're looking at. So we're going to go ahead, sim the postseason here, and then we'll catch you week by week. Okay, we're about to simulate here now against the New Orleans Saints. And it does look like we lost. We lost by 21 points. So a little unfortunate there. We are actually negative in the salary cap area as well. So we're going to have some work to do for sure with our roster. We need to improve in some areas. We did win the NFC North, though, for the first time with Jordan Love as our quarterback. So I'm very happy about that. We did have a home playoff game. Let's do a quick recap of our roster real quick too, because I'm gonna kind of shift the way that we're going about this. So we've got Jordan Love here, who's an 83 overall superstar, 25 years old now at the end of the season. Very, very pleased with his development as our franchise quarterback. Halfback, we got Mark Grant, who I think was an absolute home run pick for us. Fullback, we got Patrick Ricard. Wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Jalen Eason, Amari Rogers are our big three. I'm very, very happy with those. Robert Tonyan and Larry Lofton are our two top tight ends. Andre Dillard at left tackle. Elton Jenkins at left guard. Josh Myers the center. Brett Bennett at right guard. And then we also have Devin Rose at right tackle. So our line's looking very nice. Dean Lowry at left end. We also have Grady Jarrett and Kingsley Kiki as edges for us. D tackle Kenny Clark, who's a monster. Then we have Rashawn Gary, Chris Barnes. We also have David Barrett, who I think was a home run pick as well, looking at how he's developed already at this point. He's looking very, very good. Jair Alexander, Jamel Dean, Trey Herndon, Eric Stokes still at the cornerback position. Very happy with that. Darnell Savage at safety. Kevin Friedman, who ended up being probably star development. Yep, kind of what I expected there. Kicker, Hot Rod, and then punter J.K. Scott. And we also have a pretty nice collection of picks again this next year. So what I'm going to do here, in order to kind of get a feel for how our franchise is going to sim, with the idea that we're doing a career simulation here for our quarterback Jordan Love, I'm going to actually let the CPU make some decisions when it comes to rosters. And we're going to sim year by year and just monitor Jordan Love and some team success because I really want to see how Jordan Love does, how his career pans out. And I think that's something that would be really interesting for you guys. So I'm going to actually go into my settings here, turn everything to auto basically for roster control because I don't want to have to make all the decisions when it comes down to it. So let's go ahead down here into the trades and free agency. We're set into auto. Off-season free agent bidding auto. Injury management auto. Preseason cut days auto. Contract negotiations auto. League advancement manual, and we'll leave the reps because we have it at quarterback as starter right now because I'm focused on Jordan Love's development still ultimately. So what we're going to do is we're going to start advancing a little bit quicker so you guys can kind of get a year-for-year feel on how good Jordan Love is in the game and how well he really sims as well. So that's what I'm interested in seeing. We'll sim ahead now to the Super Bowl. So I'm kind of taking my hands off of everything. We do have a Rookie of the Year. That's very awesome as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at who that is. Let's go to the NFC. So Offensive Player of the Year, he did not finish in the top 10. Interesting. My guess is it's not the Offensive Rookie of the Year spot because that's Joel Douglas here who won that. So let's go to the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and it's actually David Barrett. Won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm very happy about that. Nice, very nice. Let's go to the best wide receiver. Devontae Adams was on their best QB. Where did Love finished 6th rather, sorry. Finished 6th. I'm very excited about that. Best offensive line. We did actually have Elton Jenkins on here, so that's awesome to see. Best D-line. We did have Grady Jarrett make the list. I think it was worth trading for him. David Barrett made best linebacker list. Do we have a corner on here? No. Surprisingly, our cornerback play's not been as good as I thought it would be. So now we're going to go ahead and try and simulate through here. We do have some upgrades as well. I'm not going to upgrade players myself. Just not what I'm really focused on doing. The Patriots actually beat the Bears in the Super Bowl. So we actually beat the Bears in the division, but we dropped the ball in the playoffs. They advanced all the way from the wild card game to the Super Bowl and lost to the New England Patriots, which is quite crazy that they've made it back to the Super Bowl already. Let's go ahead and take a look at the season recap here. Jonathan Matthews is the Super Bowl MVP for New England, their 7th championship. Alvin Kamara wins Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. Matt Rule is Coach of the Year. Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year yet again. Joel Douglas and David Barrett are the Rookies of the Year. So very exciting to have a Green Bay Packer make that list. Quite content and happy with that. So let's go ahead here. And we're going to let the CPU kind of make the decisions here. We're going to hit upgrade players here because I don't want to see this on the screen. It's actually David Barrett who, did he go up? He's still a star, surprisingly. Oh, maybe he was a normal when we drafted him. He might have actually like progressed a little. I don't know for sure if that is the case or not. We're going to just put into speed rusher here for him, help him get a little bit better. David Barrett, a beast for sure. So let's go ahead now and take a look at, let's spend a little bit of time looking at Jordan Love as a player, just so we have an idea of really what he is for our franchise. Superstar development, 25 years old. Here's his ratings. He looks like an absolute beast, which I'm very, very happy about. Good speed, good agility, acceleration. So hopefully going into next year, if our running back can stay healthy and Jordan Love keeps having the years he's having, I think we could win a Super Bowl. I really do. Let's go ahead here now. I'm going to advance to next season, because we're just going to let them make the decisions for us this offseason. We're going to see who they take in the draft. Hopefully they take a good player, preferably a tight end or on defense, honestly. I wouldn't mind an offensive lineman either. A left tackle could help us. So we'll see exactly what they end up going with, who they take. But I'm pretty happy so far with how the franchise is going. Jordan Love has been an absolute beast. We'll take a look at his career stats after this next season to kind of get a feel for how he's been as a player. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our roster, see who they drafted for us. All right, so it looks like they took a cornerback here, Brian Spillman. He's a rookie out of the University of Oregon. Cornerback, I don't necessarily know if I love that for us. They also did take a tight end, Mitch Terrell, which actually really helps us a lot. I do like that quite a bit. They took a D tackle, a young one, Richard Stuckey. Are any of these guys hidden? Richard Stuckey is not. Let's go to the tight end. Mitch Terrell, please be hidden. He's just normal. And then also Brian Spillman, cornerback. He's hidden at least. Okay, so we do have one hidden guy in the bunch, which is good. Let's see, did they take anyone else who's young that could help us? Rookie, they took another safety. So we've taken strong safeties in 3 straight drafts. So that's not necessarily what you'd want to see. But I think our team is a lot better, honestly, than when we even started. I think around Jordan Love, we put a nice product on the field. We're 85 overall. Let's go ahead, advance into the regular season, and then I'll catch you guys around week 8 again. We actually kick off week 1 here of the new season against the New England Patriots, who are the defending NFL champions. I was not expecting to say that leading into this franchise here with Jordan Love, but we're going to sim actually to the midpoint of the season again, check on Jordan Love, see how he's doing, and then we'll continue advancing from there. Okay, into week 8, we're actually 3-4 here, which is last in the NFC North, but we are only 1 game back of first in the NFC North. The division's been super close pretty much every single year that we've been doing this. Let's go ahead and take a look at our statistics so far. My guess is not phenomenal. Okay, actually, well, really phenomenal for Jordan Love. Wow. I am so happy we're doing this, actually, because Jordan Love has been balling out in this franchise. He's close to another upgrade. He's an 84 overall. 19 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. I'm not even halfway into the season. This is through 7 games. So he's on pace for almost 50 touchdowns. Has almost 2,000 yards already. Only been sacked 12 times. Mark Grant actually having a pretty good start to the season. 443 rushing yards. I'm really happy with that. He's on pace to have 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. Receiving, Amari Rodgers leading all receivers right now with 586 yards. Jalen Easton, Devontae Adams, they're doing their things. Robert Tonyan having a nice year. Mark Grant, a couple touchdowns through the air. Larry Lofton, Chad Philbin, who's a now backup halfback for us. Pretty nice year so far, especially Amari Rodgers. This is really surprising to me. Blocking, we've been phenomenal here. Very, very pleased with that. Defensively, Chris Barnes leading the team in tackles again. His career stats must be insane in terms of the tackles for us, honestly. Kevin Friedman having a nice year. Let's look at the sack leaders for our team. David Barrett leading the team in sacks again. That's great to see. Tackles for loss, Kingsley Keke, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary. Very, very pleased. Honestly, surprising to not have Grady Jarrett up here higher. Has he? Oh, he's been out, it looks like. Yeah, he only played 1 game. Looks like he is healthy now, though. Do we have any safeties or defensive touchdowns this year? Not yet. Have forced a couple fumbles, though. A few deflections for Rashawn Gary. How about catches allowed? Who's given up the most catches? Chris Barnes. Jair Alexander having a pretty good year. 14 catches through 7 games. Can't go wrong with that, really. So I'm quite happy about that. We're going to go ahead here now and actually advance the remaining games, and I'll let you guys know how we do. We'll probably be in week 18, so we can take a look at our stats again before the end of the season, kind of where we sit in the division. Here we are now in week 18, and it actually looks like we took a hold of the division just a little bit. We are one game ahead of the Detroit Lions. The Bears dropped off terribly. Actually, we just beat them by 6 points in a really key game in the division. It looks like we are first at an 11-5 record going into week 18 against the Los Angeles Rams. Our team overall is 87, so we're having a really good year so far. It looks like I would expect us to win a little bit more even. So I was hoping that we'd see maybe some of our guys up here on the leaders over on the right side of your screen, but we actually don't. So that's a little bit of an unfortunate occurrence for us. But oh my, wow, Jordan Love. This isn't even his final stats. We got one more game yet. Oh my goodness, he has been nothing short of spectacular. Jordan Love is turning into, he's an 89 overall right now. Sorry about the issue there. The Madden doesn't really like working with a capture card, so it has a little bit of issues with that sometimes. But Jordan Love has been an absolute beast. 4,600 yards, 43 passing touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. He's having a phenomenal career. Mark Grant doesn't look like he's going to get to 1,000 yards, but it is possible if he has a big rushing day in week 18, he could get there. 27 broken tackles, so surprisingly, year one might have been his career year. He just hasn't really taken that big step forward that I was hoping to see from him. Does have 8 rushing touchdowns, though. Devontae Adams actually supplanted Amari Rodgers as the leader in yards and also catches. Jalen Eason's caught a ton of balls in his career as well. Amari Rodgers over 1,000 yards. We're gonna have 3 1,000-yard receivers, it looks like, which is very, very awesome to see. Can't believe that. Robert Tonyan had a good year so far. Mark Grant, 4 receiving touchdowns. Larry Lofton has 5 as the backup tight end. So I'm pretty happy, honestly, with our production. The blocking, I think, has been great. Elton Jenkins, Dillard. I mean, 6 is really nice. If that's your guy who's given up the most sacks is 6, you're having a really good season. Chris Barnes, again, leading our team in tackles. He does that every single year. Tackles for loss leader is Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark. Sacks leader is Dre Pittman, surprisingly, our backup left end. Very impressive there. Good draft pick for us out of Oklahoma. David Barrett doing his thing again. Very good season for him as well. We're looking at like a pretty good team, honestly, out here. No defensive touchdowns yet. That's unfortunate. Do we have a lot of interceptions this year? Tyrone Beckham has quite a few at that free safety spot, but other than that, we don't really have a ton. Only 4 actually interceptions as a team. So we're really winning on the strength of our offense because the defense is not forcing a lot of turnovers. Blankenship had a down year. But other than that, I mean, we're pretty productive as a team. Jordan Love, I just can't get over how great he's been for us. I'm honestly really in love with his production. He's an 89 overall with morale right now. His card looks insane. He looks like the face of the franchise. He's a Pro Bowler yet again. It'd be awesome for him to get that development trade up to Superstar X Factor. I would love to see that for the video. That would be crazy, but I would love to see it. We're now going into week 18 here. I'm going to sim this week, and then we'll see you guys in the playoffs. Okay, advancing now here. Let's see. We won 28-3, so pretty good game to get us into the playoffs here. We're an 87 overall team, like I said. Tyrone Beckham's returning from injury, it looks like. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our stats. Jordan Love threw a few more touchdowns. He's up to 44 on the year, 4,800 yards, 71% completion percentage. Absolutely just insane numbers. Mark Grant actually did not get a single carry. Why does Chad Philbin have more rushing attempts than Mark Grant? I don't understand that at all. But wow. Devontae Adams, Amari Rodgers. Eason actually did not get a catch either that final game. Maybe they just rested him. I don't understand why he wouldn't play, though. Devontae Adams played. So Eason did not get to 1,000 yards, unfortunately. We looked at the offensive line. Chris Barnes did his thing. So all in all, pretty good. Pretty good season. Jordan Love, this is the numbers we really need to focus on. Let's go look at career stats too quick. Jordan Love already almost 14,000 pass yards, 114 touchdowns, 28 interceptions only, 68% completion percentage, and a passer rating of nearly 110. So he's been really good in his career. so far, and I'm really looking forward to kind of see what those career totals could be when we get a little bit further into his career. Very, very exciting for sure. I'm very, very happy about that. Let's go ahead here now and advance weeks. Let's see if we can beat the Seattle Seahawks at home. We do. Oh my gosh, 35-24. I was nervous. And we get a matchup again with the New Orleans Saints. Let's go ahead into the playoff bracket here and kind of see what we're looking at. So if we beat the Saints, we play the winner of Cowboys 49ers. Very intriguing there. Patriots are still alive over on the other side too, the team that's the defending champion. So we'll see if we get a shot now and really what we can do. We'll catch you guys after this week. It's 12-5 Green Bay versus the 14-3 Saints, and we won by 7. Whew. Okay, we did win that game. Now we face the Dallas Cowboys, who have a 92 overall offense. That is absolutely nuts. Their offense is insane. Let's go look at their roster real quick, actually, because I'm really interested in seeing who they have on that offense and how they're so good. Because, oh my gosh, Dak's 93, Zeke's 99, Blossom game. Oh my goodness, their team is insane. Eddie Cheeks at tight end. Holy cow, their offensive line is elite. You know, I'm gonna say it. I'll be surprised if we win this game. I will be surprised if we beat the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to take a big day from our wideouts, it looks like, because their secondary really looks like the only weakness on this team. So we're going to go ahead and advance here. This is the game, the NFC Conference Championship, to get to the Super Bowl. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, year 1 of this franchise, to get to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Now it's Jordan Love's opportunity to show himself as that guy. We'll see if we can beat the 13-4 Dallas Cowboys. All right, simming now. Let's see. We won by 8 again. Holy cow. I am very, very happy about that. We got upgrade players here. A lot of really good players out here need upgrades for us, so that's awesome. We are getting better. Mark Grant having a nice season as well, so very, very nuts to see that. Let me go make sure our depth chart's all set as well. Let's go to the power back spot. That's really what I'm concerned about. Okay, Mark Grant is in there, so I just don't know why he's not getting the carries. I don't understand that really, what the deal is. If anyone could let me know in the comments, I'd definitely love to see that. We are in the Pro Bowl right now. Let's go view up. We're facing the Texans. We are facing the Texans. What? I don't understand that at all. How are the Texans in the Super Bowl already? I'm not really sure about that. We ranked 9th in offensive points per game, 6th in yards per game passing, 12th in yards per game rushing. Our defense actually been really good. Defensive points per game 6th, yards per game 7th, and rush yards per game 7th. So I guess we have been really, really good defensively. I thought maybe the offense was what was carrying us, but defense looks really, really strong as well. And we faced the 9-8 Houston Texans, so I don't really know how we got to where we are. Let's go ahead here, take a look. Kamara wins MVP again. That's insane. Jordan Love finishes 8th in MVP vote, so kind of unfortunate that we didn't get a little bit more love here. We actually didn't even finish in the top 10 in Coach of the Year for LaFleur either. All right, here we are now in 2024. The Super Bowl here is between the Houston Texans and our Green Bay Packers. Like we talked about, the Super Bowl is being played in Dallas, so maybe a little bit of a home field advantage almost for the Houston Texans, only about 2.5 hours away from Dallas, whereas up from Green Bay here, we are a long ways away from home playing in Dallas. So we'll see if that has any impact. We are the way better team. We are 8 overall better overall as a team. We won 3 more games in the regular season. Let's go ahead, hit advance, and see, are we able to win a Super Bowl here? Did Jordan Love get the job done? And it looks like we did. And what happened? I am shocked right now. Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl champions. Dan Richards, our backup quarterback I took in like the 6th round one year to just be a long-term backup, has won Super Bowl MVP. What happened? Did Jordan Love really get hurt? Oh. What the heck? Dan Richards wins Super Bowl MVP. I don't at all understand what happened. One new injury. Let's see the injury report here. Drummond partially tore his ACL. What the hell happened? I don't understand. I'm going to go check the box score and we'll be back. So, Jordan Love didn't play in the Super Bowl. I don't know why. I don't know if he had an injury during the week practicing. I don't really know. But Dan Richards played elite, I guess. So, we won a Super Bowl with Dan Richards. Again, I don't understand what's going on with the carries. Mark Grant didn't get a single carry in the Super Bowl. I don't really understand. But nonetheless, he had a great year. Jordan Love did, and he's a Super Bowl champion now. Second time being in a Super Bowl, and the first one he's won, even though he technically didn't play. Still crazy. So let's go ahead here, and what we're gonna do actually, this is gonna be crazy. We're gonna sim 10 years right now, and we're gonna come back, check on our running back, and check on Jordan Love. I want to see how their careers kind of play out. Okay, so we just got done simming. We are now in the year 2034. I don't know what happened because I was an owner. It says you're currently a free agent coach. So I don't know if we ran out of money while we were simming or what happened with our funds. Maybe the GM was getting a little carried away, making some decisions for our roster. Maybe we ran out of money because I'm currently no longer the owner of the Green Bay Packers. But that's not the end of the world because we still can go in here and make decisions about rosters and free agents and look at everything that we need to. So let's go in here to NFL rosters, and you see here it just defaults me to the Bears. We can actually here go to NFL, but let's start by going to the Green Bay Packers here, and they still do have Jordan Love, who's 35 years old now at this point. So you can see we are 10 years into the future. Here is his player card. He is actually Superstar X Factor. Let me grab a screenshot of that. That's awesome to see. Very, very sweet that Jordan Love is a Superstar X Factor. Really good traits still, really good abilities and ratings. Let's look at his current abilities. Freight Train, he's also got Quick Draw, Roaming Deadeye, Red Zone Deadeye, Gunslinger, and Lofting Deadeye. So he's looking like an absolute beast. My goal, he's actually a 93 overall, which is 6th in the NFL. So he's a top 6 QB. My goal is to look at his career stats, and then we'll also go year by year with him. Halfback, no longer do we have our LSU guy, but instead we do have two superstar halfbacks actually, in Kevin Campbell and also Marcus Creighton, which is insane. Kevin Campbell looks like an absolute beast. So it looks like they've done a really good job drafting here for us. 98 acceleration at halfback, which is insane. Christian Kerr, Isaiah Christmas, who's an X-Factor wide receiver in his 9th year. So I'm sure he's had some phenomenal seasons as well here for our Green Bay Packers. It looks like they were really well set up for success. Wow, this is insane. Short out, yeah, he's incredible. Isaiah Christmas looks really, really good. Tight end Doug Kaiser's here. Very interesting. Got a franchise left tackle, something I didn't do. We have a nice left guard. Superstar center. Wow, this team's actually insane. Devin Rose is still around, kicking at right tackle. That's awesome to see that he's had such a nice long career here. Nasir Pierce, interesting. Doesn't really look like a lot of our defense is still in place here, which is a little unfortunate. I was hoping to see some of our guys on the defensive side. David Barrett's here actually still, which I'm excited about. He is really, really good as well. He's star development currently. He's a captain on this team as well, so I like seeing that. Looks like he is a beast. So at 32 years old, he's getting up there. Spillman is still here as well. That was the first guy they took when I hired a new GM to really be making the moves for me before going into that final season where we ended up winning the Super Bowl. So nice to see Spillman still around, having such a good career. Our safeties have turned over, it looks like. New kicker, new punter. That's kind of the things you'd expect. And it looks like they expect us to be pretty good. They're projecting the 31st pick for us. So very exciting about that. Let's go ahead here quick because there's another thing I want to show you guys. NFL, if we go to the oldest player in the league. It is. Jordan Love is actually the 4th oldest guy in the NFL right now, which is absolutely insane. Let's go to the running back position, though. The oldest running back is Mark Grant from LSU. That's our boy. He's playing for the Minnesota Vikings right now at 89 overall. He's no longer an X Factor. He's dropped down to a star development. Very unfortunate, I know. But he does look like he's still a pretty good player. He still has 95 acceleration, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and look at some wide receivers around the league, too. We do actually have the best wide receiver in football, and it's not even close in Isaiah Christmas. He is easily, far and away, the best. Jamar Chase is out here still. Jalen Easton is here, too, with the Patriots. So we'll have to take a look at his career, how he's kind of played out. Very awesome to see that. Tight end, who's the oldest tight end out here? I don't think we're going to have any specifically that I think are really key players for us to look at this point. Let's go to the left guard. Let's go to the right guard spot and see if our right guard is still out here that we drafted. It doesn't look like he is. He must have hung it up. Unfortunate there. Right tackle, we know our guy's still here. Let's go look at the safety spot maybe and see if some of our guys are still here. That's cornerback. Let's see. Free safety doesn't look like anyone here that we recognize, and strong safety doesn't look like they're around either. But that's what you'll have in the NFL. Simming 10 years, you're going to lose a lot of those guys. So now let's go to the stats page, because I'm interested in seeing. Okay, so this right now we're in the off season too, it looks like. So let's go to career stats. Wow, Justin Fields has had a career. Let's go to the Packers. Oh my goodness. So Jordan Love's career stats are ridiculous. 53,064 passing yards. He has almost 4,500 completions, 68 career completion percentage, 448 passing touchdowns to 125 interceptions. He's played 221 games. So I would say this is a success with Jordan Love being our franchise quarterback. Rushing here, Love has 21 rushing touchdowns as well, so he's been a beast. Kevin Campbell has almost 4,000 rush yards on his career already. That's pretty impressive. Receiving, oh my, look at Isaiah Christmas. 10,000 yard receiver. He is nothing short of spectacular. His 85 career receiving touchdowns. That's insane. I wish I had drafted him. Devin Rose, only career 65 sacks allowed in 11 seasons. That's pretty good. Roger Jones, Spillman here. How many interceptions does he have on his career? 20. Sack leader. David Barrett has over 100 career sacks. Oh my goodness. What an absolute beast that I drafted here in David Barrett. Let's go look at his stats by year and see what his best career season was. Looks like he's just putting up 10 sacks a year basically, which is really impressive. His tackle for loss had a few really good tackle for loss seasons. Let's see where he was in 2024 when we won the Super Bowl. Actually, his worst season was the year we won the Super Bowl. Very, very good from him. I don't think anyone else on this defense was a guy I drafted after I had handed it over to my GM then at that point. So it doesn't look like anyone else here is really me. Don't really have any kicking, punting stats at this point. Spillman's done a little bit of returning through his career. But the big one here is Jordan Love. Let's go look at his individual season statistics. He's just been an absolute beast. So let's go year by year here. The year we won the Super Bowl, 44 touchdowns, 9 picks. That looks like maybe, oh no, this 2031 is his career year actually. 45 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, 71% completion. Just wow. Absolutely incredible the numbers he's put up in his career. Only one season of less than 4,000 passing yards as a starter, it looks like. And he had 3,998, so he's been extremely productive. His career pass rating was like 110. Look at it this year, what it was. It ended up being 122.3 that season, so that's insane. Even this past year, threw for 47 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. So it looks like he's going to continue having phenomenal career as we sim. Let's look at his rushing. What's his best rushing season? 2029, he was really good. Ran for 6 touchdowns that year. Did not have a reception. Does it count tackles for him? I don't think it does. So all in all, been very, very phenomenal. You can see his downs played. Let's go to his contract quick. 1 year remaining, actually, so it looks like next year might be his final season. Awards, first round pick, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time league leader in passer rating, won best QB 3 times, won offensive player of the year this most recent in 2031, won MVP this past season. So we're coming off an MVP year from Jordan Love, offensive player of the year, and best quarterback this year as well. So very, very great to see. Let's look at his, yeah, it's pretty much everything, isn't it, I guess, for him. So that's awesome to see. Let's go ahead back to our defensive leader here, our sack guy here, David Barrett, who is absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and look at his awards throughout his career. So 16th pick, 7-time Pro Bowler, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in 2031. So 2031, we must have been a very, very good team. Now let's go over to the Minnesota Vikings. He actually stayed in our division, which is another good story here for Mark Grant. Oh my gosh, look at his career. 2,500 carries, averaged has almost 12,000 rushing yards in his career, 100 career rushing touchdowns, 416 broken tackles in his career. How about receiving for Mark Grant? 32 receiving touchdowns, almost 4,000 career receiving yards. Mark Grant was an absolute superstar pick, honestly. I'm really glad I took him. Just seeing how good he's been as a player throughout his career. Been in Minnesota the last 3 years, so never really stuck with us too long, actually. Never had a 1,200, or no, had one 1,300 yard rushing season, but was really, really productive for us, honestly. Never was really a workhorse, never had more than 265 carries in a year, but he's been really productive throughout his career. Had a 5.7 average that season, 12 touchdowns a couple of seasons. That's awesome. Receiving wise, I mean, for us, he was doing a lot of work as a receiver, so that's what I like to see. He's been such a phenomenal player. I love seeing that for Mark Grant. Let's go ahead and look at his awards too, see if he's won any awards or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't. Yeah, so he's 10th pick, didn't win a single award, but has had most certainly a Hall of Fame career. Has 1 year left on his deal at $13.6 million. So very, very cool to see that there. Phenomenal player Mark Grant is, so I'm really happy to have seen him have such a good career. He could maybe go a couple more years even if he wanted to. That would be interesting to see. Let's go ahead now and to the Patriots, because that's where our other boy is, our wide receiver. Let's go to him. Jalen Eason, over 1,000 career catches, over 11,000 receiving yards, 78 career touchdowns. This guy's a Hall of Famer too. You would have to think, right? With those numbers, he would have to be considered a Hall of Famer, and he's actually just recently became a Patriot. He played with us this past season, so they must have just traded him. Looking at his numbers here, though, absolutely insane. I think 3 1,000-yard receiving years. Or no, 4 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Absolutely insane. Just a really productive career, honestly. Caught a ton of touchdowns in his time with us, including this most recent year, 10 touchdowns. Jalen Eason's been a beast. Let's see what his rushing numbers look like throughout his career. Only a few carries, but was pretty productive with some of those carries as well. So very awesome to see that. Jalen Eason was so good for us. Obviously, Davante Adams is going to be retired at this point, so we can't really go check on his career numbers at this point. But wow, I'm really, really impressed, to be honest, with just the overall success of our players, especially Jordan Love. I'm also really, really happy to see the change in who really is, at the top of some of these things for some of our younger guys. Let's look at passing touchdowns. Jordan Love is on the list. 448. He's a top 10 QB of all time in passing touchdowns, and 1 season away from passing Aaron Rodgers if he does play. I think we might sim 1 season, honestly, because I would love to see that. Rushing touchdowns. It does not look like we're going to have a guy on there. What was rushing yards leader? Okay, yeah, so wow. Probably not going to see that. Josh Jacobs ends up finishing really high up here. Nick Chubb's actually the all-time leading rush guy, so wow, that's insane. Receiving yards, probably not going to have. Davante Adams, who finished his career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is actually 10th all-time in receiving yards. Very great to see that. Wow, absolutely insane what we've got here. Catch leader all time. Kind of nuts. Very possible that Eason could make this list even if he has a nice year with New England. Defensive sack leader all time. We won't have anyone on here. INTs, I would be shocked if any one of our guys made that. Wow. Really, really impressive. Tom Brady finished with 90,000 career pass yards. That's nuts. Mahomes is at 80,000 currently. That's absolutely wild. The fact that we are up here on passing touchdowns with Jordan Love is really, really awesome to me. I was not expecting that, so really, really crazy, to be honest, that we saw that level of production from him. And I think that we are going to actually sim one more year here because I want to let's sim to the playoffs here because I want to see if it is possible that Jordan Love passes Aaron Rodgers in career passing touchdowns. I would love to see that. We are here risking retirement from the running back, Jalen Eason, and also so Mark Grant, Jalen Eason, and also Jordan Love here at this point, simming through this part of the thing. But let's see if we can find out after one more season, what does Jordan Love's final season of his career look like? And I wonder if they're going to give him a contract extension too, honestly. That would be very interesting to me. So here we are. We are still currently a free agent coach. Let's see, do the Packers make the playoffs? They actually missed. The Packers missed the playoffs on here, which is unfortunate because they look like a pretty good roster with how they've constructed them. Let's go ahead and look at the NFL rosters here. Let's go to the Packers. Jordan Love, he played this year. Let's see. Let's go to the all-time career stats again. Let's make sure that we are doing a little bit of research here for our guys, seeing how they're doing. Let's stop first at the Packers. That is the important one. Passing 32 touchdowns. So I believe this year he should now have passed Aaron Rodgers for all-time passing touchdowns. Very awesome. He's climbing the list. Look at Isaiah Christmas again this year. What a star receiver he has been for them. Let's go ahead and look at the defense. Maybe we have a few more sacks for Barrett. He has 8.5 more sacks. He's having such a good career. That's really awesome to see. Spillman had another nice year, it looks like. Let's go to the Vikings quick and take a look at the running back situation there. See if he ended up playing this year. Mark Grant did. He had 783 rush yards, 9 more touchdowns in his career. So I'm glad to see him get a little bit more run. Let's go to the Patriots real quick too. Check in on Jalen Eason. There he is, another 880-yard receiving year. 68 more catches for him on the career. That's awesome. Now let's go to the NFL record books yet again. Still nothing for pass yards. Passing touchdowns, though. Jordan Love now above Aaron Rodgers, tied with Lamar Jackson. That's really awesome to see that Jordan Love is this high on the list. That's absolutely nuts. It looks like Aaron Rodgers didn't even play another game for another team after we released him, which is kind of crazy. So very, very much set here. Let's go into the catches leader and see if Eason's made it yet. No, Eason did not have enough this year to get there. Let's go look quick at the salaries around the league if we can, or if we just have to look. Okay, perfect salaries. Let's go ahead here down to the Packers. And let's go to the quarterback position. Jordan Love. This was the final year of his deal, so let's go ahead and we're going to advance through the playoffs here, and we'll see if he ends up retiring. I would be kind of shocked if he didn't. I think that's a pretty good year to end on for him. Had another nice season. Let's go ahead and advance the week to the off season. And let's go look at the NFL rosters here, see if he's on a team or not. Probably going to have some retiring. Quarterback here. Jordan Love still is on here, so I don't know if he got a new contract. Let's go look at his contract situation. They did bring him back on a one-year deal, so maybe Jordan Love could actually have a little bit more left in the tank. Let's go ahead, sim one more season. Simulate 2 next season here. Very, very awesome to see Jordan Love having such a successful career in this career simulation and this rebuild. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun recording, and I also need to look at who's won the Super Bowl and everything, because I need to see how many Super Bowls our team actually ended up winning. I know we ended up with one, but I would be very interested to see exactly who has what. So let's go to stadium. What happens if we do this? I think I might have broke the game doing that. So here we are now in the playoffs of 2035. Let's view the playoff bracket. And the Green Bay Packers are in it again. So Jordan Love must have had a pretty good year. They're back in the playoffs. We'll see here if there's any. Let's go look at the stats quick. From this year, let's go to the Packers. Jordan Love, 36 more touchdowns, only 9 interceptions. He's just having a crazy career. I don't really know what else to make of it. Just been absolutely insane. They actually got him another wide receiver too, which is good because they needed one. Isaiah Christmas is getting up there in age. Let's go look at the Vikings. Let's see if they still have our running back there. Mark Grant looks like he has called it quits. Let's go to the Patriots. I wonder if he's done too, or if he's somewhere else around the league. Let's go to the NFL roster quick, and we'll sort by age, and we'll see if those guys did actually retire, or if they're still kicking somewhere. Okay, so Jalen Eason is still in the league. This year, though, he only did have 4 catches for 58 yards. So it does look like he is playing in a reduced role at this point, which you don't really like to see. Obviously, I'd love to see him, kind of expand his role a little bit more and really get some run down the back end of his career. But he just didn't get that opportunity, and Mark Grant did retire. So let's go ahead, advance the week here, see what happens with the Packers, if they're able to win the Week 1 matchup or not. And they did end up losing 33-30, so that might be the game that does end Jordan Love's career. That would be my guess. Let's go ahead here, not the schedule. Let's go ahead and look at the career stats now for Jordan Love, which is absolutely nuts that we're even talking about that. Let's go to the Packers. 62,507 passing yards, 516 passing touchdowns to only 147 picks. 107.8 career passer rating. Just absolutely remarkable, the career that Jordan Love has put on now. Let's go to our defense. Do we still have Barrett? Barrett's 953 career tackles, 122 sacks. That's absolutely insane. So those two guys probably going to be calling it careers here if I had to guess. Passing touchdowns here, Jordan Love has climbed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. And he's within striking distance of Peyton Manning possibly. Absolutely insane. Mahomes has surpassed 700 passing touchdowns in his career on here. But Jordan Love, over 500 career passing touchdowns. Absolutely remarkable, the career that he's had. Let's go ahead. Now let's advance to the Super Bowl week. Because I want to try and see if we can go back and look at who's won every Super Bowl and who's done what, because I would be interested in seeing that. It's Patriots versus 49ers, two iconic, historic franchises. I think that's really awesome that that's going to be the final one we get to see here. Let's advance this week. And we can actually not see anything. Trey Lance and Cantrell collide. And the 49ers won 30-28. Very, very insane. Let's go ahead and look at the league history. This is where we need to go. Okay, so 2035, Lamar Jackson won MVP. Okay, very nuts. We're not going to know any of these rookies. Obviously, Matt Rule wins another Coach of the Year. So we're looking here for Super Bowls that we have been in. Jordan Love was MVP this year. We actually lost to the Chiefs again. We've lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl at least twice. Jordan Love was the MVP this year, though. So that's crazy to see. Pat Mahomes must have so many Super Bowl MVPs. Here, Carlos Knight wins Super Bowl MVP for the Atlanta Falcons. We were not in this one. The Texans and Deshaun Watson actually get a Super Bowl. The Raiders here, Corin Torrance won Super Bowl MVP. Wow, back-to-back years of the same matchup here, Niners and Raiders. That's awesome. Niners made it again, but lost to the Chiefs, who've probably won a ton. Chiefs won, Chiefs lost here. So we actually had back-to-back Giants versus Chiefs matchups, which is awesome. That one flipped though. Packers, this was 2024 when we had won. Dan Richards won the Super Bowl MVP that year. So very, very awesome to see that. But wow, what an incredible end to this franchise. Very, very shocking to me. But wow, very, very awesome to see. We did make it to one more Super Bowl. And we were able to have a really good career for Jordan Love. He's had a phenomenal career. I had a lot of fun recording this, honestly. Let's go ahead and put Jordan Love up on the screen one last time for everyone, so you get a real chance to look at him. I had a lot of fun recording this. It was very, very enjoyable for me. He had such a good career, Jordan Love did. So shout out to Jordan Love here for this video. Played his heart out for us. Ended up becoming a MVP of the league. I don't think anyone expected that when we started this. He has been an absolute beast throughout his career. Is regressing because of age, but phenomenal player. Well worth moving on from Aaron Rodgers with how his career played out here. We won a Super Bowl with him. We made it to another Super Bowl with him. And the Packers, very, very successful in the Jordan Love era. Let me know in the comment section if you guys did enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun doing a career simulation of Jordan Love. Let's go ahead quick one more time. Take a quick look at his career stats. Absolutely insane what you see here from him. Just remarkable season after remarkable season. Did everything we asked of him as a starter. Got the starting job and never let go of it. Has had so many good careers, so many good career years, honestly, for our Green Bay Packers here. Again, leave a like on today's video. Hit that subscribe button if you are new to utility sports and enjoyed this career simulation of Jordan Love. Let me know in the comment section, what do you want to see next on the channel? We will get to recording that as soon as we can. Been very busy lately, so we really appreciate all the support you guys have shown, and we'll catch you in the very next utility sports video.